Good morning, students. This is the continuation of the last class. We have learned ఏం నేర్చుకున్నాము లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ లో మనము చాప్టర్ N and F or V hooks కదా. ఎలా రాయాలి? How do we write N and F hooks? R hook opposite is N hook. L hook opposite is F or V hook. Okay. R hook ఎలా రాస్తాం మనము? Straight strokes కి right motion. R hook opposite N hook రాస్తాం. అలాగే L hook opposite F or V. Okay. This is R hook and this is N hook. This is L hook and this is F or V hook to straight strokes. Now to curve strokes, how do we write? This is R hook to all curve strokes. How do we write N hook to curve strokes? Inside the curves. N hook is written inside the curves to all curve strokes. Okay. Sometimes N hook is also used medially. మనకి N hook కూడా word మధ్యలో యూస్ చేస్తాము. ఓకే, ఏంటది? ఎలాంటి వర్డ్స్? So N and F or V hooks are also used medially, right? Now pen. When is N coming? ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది మనకి N hook? N sound ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది? వర్డ్ చివర్లో వస్తుంది. ఎలా రాయాలి? స్ట్రైట్ స్ట్రోక్స్ కి P and N hook. P and N hook is pen. Okay. Plenty. Plenty. Pull, N and T. When the sound of N is coming, word మధ్యలో మనకి సౌండ్ ఆఫ్ N వస్తుంది. ఎలా రాయాలి? Plenty. Pull, N and T. Plenty. కదా? We are getting the sound of N in the middle of a word. How do we write? Like this. Plenty. Agent. Agent. J, N and T. Agent. Okay. Suddenness. Suddenness. Circles. B, N hook, N circles. Suddenness. Okay. Painful. Can we write painful? Can write pain. Painful. Can we write L hook like this? We don't write. So sometimes, now refer. We'll see to this later on. Okay. Refer. This is N hook used medially. Now F or V kuda we can use medially. How? Refer. When the sound of F is coming in the middle of a word. Ray. This is F hook and ray. Refer. Divide. Divide. Sound the word? Divide. D and V is coming in the middle of a word. Ella Riley, how do we write? D, V and D. Divide. Okay. Refer. Divide. Defense. Defense. D, F hook. F is coming in the middle of a word. How do we write? D, def. So you can place D, F and N circles. Defense. Okay. Graphic. Graphic. G-R-A-P-H-I-C. P-H ముందుకని graphic అనము. Graphic. P silent. Okay. Graphic. F sound మనకి word మధ్యలో వినిపిస్తుంది. ఎలా రాయాలి? Graphic. గర్. ఆరు కదా? Graph, F and K. Graphic. Okay. These are N and F or waves. చూడండి ఇక్కడ రెఫర్ మనకి F సౌండ్ వినిపిస్తుంది. ఓకే. డివైడ్ V సౌండ్ వినిపిస్తుంది. డిఫెన్స్ F సౌండ్ వినిపిస్తుంది. గ్రాఫిక్ F. F or V hooks used in the middle of a word. అలాగే N hooks కూడా మనకి వర్డ్ మధ్యలో యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. నౌ సమ్ టైమ్స్ N hook మనకి సరిగ్గా రాయటం కుదరదు కొన్ని వర్డ్స్ లో. అలాంటప్పుడు we write full outline. Okay, some cases N hook will not join very good or very nice with other strokes. We write full outline. Example, painful. Pain is letters P and N hook. Can we write N hook here? We can't write. Painful. P, N, F, and L. This way, the outline is looking very odd, isn't it? Pain, full. Okay, brandy. How do we write? Now these are the cases where we don't use N hook or F or V hook in the middle of a word. Now brandy. How do we write brand? Ber, B, R. This is ber. Okay, bra. Then N is coming middle. So brand and D. Suppose we can join when we write slow, but when we go fast, when we write fast, this turning of B might become like a curve when we are writing fast. Fast గా రాసేప్పుడు ఈ N hook అనేది మధ్యలో it doesn't join better. సరిగ్గా రాయటం రాదు మనకి. ఫాస్ట్ గా రాస్తాం కాబట్టి ఆ B అనేది కర్వ్ కూడా అయిపోవచ్చు. లేదా there is always a possibility of circle coming here after N hook. Okay, ఎందుకంటే bar is written towards right side and మళ్ళీ N hook is right side, then T, N and T రాసేటప్పుడు there is a chance of forming a circle here when we write fast. That much time we don't have when we write speed. Okay, so these type of cases we don't use N hook in the middle of a word. We write full outline. How? Bar, N and D. Brand D. Okay. Agency. Agency. The same case. Agency. How do we write agent? J, N hook and T. Okay, we can write. But agency, we have to turn N. A, gen, and C. Look here. We turn this S, agency. There's always a possibility of forming a circle here. So we don't use N hook here. We write full outline. Age, N, and C. A, gen, and C. Write full outline. Okay. Now, sometimes the form of ner, syllable ner, how do we write syllable ner? Ner is N hook. To N hook we write R hook. We attach R hook to N. This is syllable ner. How do we write when it is attached to some strokes? Okay. Suppose after straight upstrokes. What are straight upstrokes? Re, ve, ye, and upward H. Okay. Straight upstrokes తర్వాత ఒకవేళ సౌండ్ ఆఫ్ నర్ వస్తే ఎలా రాయాలి? Runner, runner, ra, re. We write re. Why? Because after R there is a vowel. How do we write run? Re and N. Run. Now there is one more R. We write double R. So ikkada hook N and double R is written. After straight upstrokes, if we get the sound of ner, we write it with the help of hook N and double R. Straight upstrokes తర్వాత మనకి సౌండ్ ఆఫ్ నర్ వస్తే ఎలా రాస్తాము? అప్స్ట్రోక్స్ తర్వాత ఎన్ హుక్ రాసి ఆర్ రాస్తాం సౌండ్ ఆఫ్ నర్. ఓకే, నౌ రన్నర్ ఆర్ తర్వాత వొవెల్ ఉంది కాబట్టి మనము అప్వర్డ్ రే రాసాం. ఓకే, వెన్నర్, winner. Now V is also an upstroke. How do we write? Winner. Stroke way, third place. Win and are. Winner. Okay. Yawner. Yawner. A is also an upstroke. How do we write? A could upstroke kada? Ella Riley. Yawn. Yawn. First place. Yawn and are. Okay. After straight upstrokes, if we get the sound of ner, we write enok and downward r. Remaining all other cases, we use this hooked form of ner. Okay. All other cases means any other cases, any other words. Suppose liner. Liner. L is a curve stroke. Line and ner. Liner. Manner. M and ner. Liner. Manner. Keener. K and ner. Since K is not an upstroke, M is not an upstroke, and L is not an upstroke. Only after upstrokes we use enok and r for the sound of ner. Remaining all other cases we use hooked form of ner. Okay, liner, manner, keener, K and ner. Joiner. J kuda maniki upstroke kaadu. Okay, joiner. J and ner. Joiner. Okay, these are the cases where we use hook and downward r, and where we use hooked form of ner. Okay. Now, N and F or weaves are also used in phrases. Or phraseography. N and F or weaves are used in phraseography. How? Suppose if we write, now what is phrase? Joining of two or more strokes together is called a phrase. Now, how do we join enok in a phrase? Okay, if we join it, what sound it gives? ఒకవేళ ఎన్నోక్ మనము ఫ్రేజ్ లో జాయిన్ చేస్తే మనకి ఎలాంటి సౌండ్స్ వస్తాయి, ఎలాంటి సౌండ్ ఉన్న వర్డ్స్ వస్తాయి మనకి? ఆన్, బీన్, దాన్, own. Suppose if we write enok in phrases, we get the sound of on, been, than, and own. How do we write on? On is just a grammar lock. How do we write? This is on. Been. Above the line small look is on. Okay? Grammar locks we have learned in the first chapters. Now been is also a grammar lock. How do we write? Be and enok. Than. That. And own. Own is also grammar. On, been, than, and own. When these come individually, alone గా వచ్చినప్పుడు, ఒంటరిగా వచ్చినప్పుడు మనము ఈజీగా రాసిస్తాం. ఓకే, ఫ్రేజెస్ లో జాయిన్ అయినప్పుడు నా carried on. Carried on ఏంటి? Two words. Carried and on. How do we write carried on? The phrase అవుతుంది కదా, carried on. Separate గా రాసే బదులు we can join it. ఎలా రాయాలి? Carried. Carried. Carried the enok. Carried. K, R, T, and we write enok this to this carried. Becomes carried on. Okay. We don't say carried being, or we don't say carried than. We say carried on. Better than. Better than. Do we say better on or better been? Better on. We don't say better than. Okay. How do we write better? Be and ter. Better. Now than is, if you write enok, it becomes a than in phrase. Okay. I have been. 3 strokes. I have been. Kada? 3 strokes we are joining. How do we write? Been. I have. This is I have. The phrase. Now to get the sound of been, write NO here. I have been. Okay. Our own. Now our is a grammar log. How do we write? Through the line. Ray through the line. Our. Now own is write NO. Okay. These are the 4 cases where we write NO in phrases. What are the sounds we get? Em sounds వస్తే మనకి ఎన్నోకి రాస్తే phrases లో on, been, than, own. చూడండి carried on అంటాము కానీ carried been అనము. దానికి better than అంటాము better own అనము. ఓకే. Now I have been అలాగే our own. ఓకే. మనకి phrases లో ఎన్నోకి పెడితే ఈ సౌండ్స్ మనకి వినిపిస్తాయి. So this is the way we write ఎన్నోక్ in phrases. Now F or V you see. Now F or V also is used in phrases. How? Out of. Out is it's not a grammar log. Out is a word. How do we write out? T through the line. Now off is a grammar log. Now join these two. Out of. T through the line and join F hook. Right? We get the sound of F. If you turn it to left motion. Okay. This is out of F hook. Which have. Which have is a grammar log. How do we write? Which is a grammar log. Right? Which. Now have. If you write V hook, it gives the sound of have. ఇక్కడేమో out of. Same hooks. Out of which have. Suppose you have. How do we write? You. Use a grammar log. On the line. You. And have. You rasi. Mali have. Rastama. Right. You have. Right? F hook or V hook. Same. You and have. Okay. So these are the cases where N and F or V hooks are used in phrases. Okay. Very easy if you practice these kind of phrases when writing speed. Now we have some grammar logs. Now shall we go on with the rules of this chapter? Okay.